Our politically incorrect segment tonight, you've heard about white privilege, but what about Christian privilege? George Washington University is hosting a seminar aimed at combating what they call Christian privilege. The thesis of the seminar is the question, how do we acknowledge that Christians receive unmerited perks from institutions and systems all across our country? With me now to break this down from the Daily Caller, Amber Athey. Amber, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Liz.
All right, Amber, this is a new one. I had not heard before this workshop, Christian privilege. This seminar from George Washington University, it's called Christian Privilege, but our founding fathers were all Christian, right? And it's basically saying it's a training session to train students and faculty that Christians receive unmerited perks from institutions and systems. What does that mean exactly, unmerited perks?
Right. I actually had to do some Googling on this one because I was stumped. And it turns out some of their complaints stem from things like the fact that Christians get off for their holidays, such as Christmas, and other silly complaints like that. And I would say that anyone who really thinks that Christians have undue privilege in society is just not grounded in reality. I would dare any one of the organizers from this session at GW to go on social media after any national tragedy and look at all of the celebrities and blue check marks on Twitter mocking Christians for offering thoughts and prayers, for example, after any mass shooting in the country. And then just recently, Facebook actually censored an advertisement from Steubenville University of Ohio because they included a photo of Jesus being crucified. So for them to say that Christians are privileged, it really just sounds to me like a way to tell Christians to sit down and shut up when they have legitimate complaints about oppression and injustice in this country.
Right, and these people are correct. The foundation of our legal system in this country is based on Judeo-Christian morals. So I don't know if they have a problem with our laws on murder, which are, I guess, a Christian law against killing and violating someone else, our laws against, stealing from other people, our laws against rape. Those things are Judeo-Christian values. So maybe those are the things that they have an issue with. But I think you're right. I was thinking about what it's like to be a Christian in this country, and we have an amazing country where we can practice our religion no matter what it is without the fear of oppression from our government. It's remarkable. That being said, I thought of 4 things right off the top of my head that if you're a Christian, you immediately get slammed by the media, by the left, by Hollywood. If you support traditional marriage, which is a traditional Christian belief. You support traditional marriage, you're castigated as a bigot. The government will actually threaten to shut down your business, like they did to that bed and breakfast in upstate New York, saying if you don't host gay weddings there, which is against many Christians' religious beliefs, then we will shut down your business. If you say, I believe in the dignity of life, if you're pro-life and you say it's because I believe that every person from the moment of conception was created in the image of God, you are told that you are misogynist, that you're sexist, that you hate women, that you are opposed to women's health care. And this is interesting because this one just happened last week, if you support the right of nurses and doctors to decline to participate in abortion if it's against their religious beliefs, you are not protected under our law at the instigation of Democrats. How is any of this Christian privilege?
You're exactly right, Liz, and I'm glad that you brought up the founding of our country because it's so important that America was founded as a place where people could escape religious persecution and live in a place where they're free to practice whatever religion they choose. And that's not the case across the world to this day for Christians. So that's why it's particularly offensive that people would suggest that Christians are privileged. If you look just overseas in Nigeria, on New Year's Eve, 14 Christians were killed by a terrorist group. Just a couple of days ago, ISIS took responsibility for an attack that killed a Christian family in, I think it was Kenya. And look at the civil war that's brewing in Syria, where Christians are persecuted on a daily basis. So for people in this country whose families, in many cases, historically fled persecution, they came to America to escape that. It's incredibly offensive to say that now that we're in America, we're supposed to shut up and accept this perceived privilege that we have, which isn't even accurate based on all of the examples you provided to the contrary.
Right, and if you look around the world, I mean, those are amazing examples. If you look around the world at the religion, the people who belong to the religion that suffer the most oppression, it's Christians. It's not Muslims. It's Christians. Christians suffer the most oppression. 100 million Christians around the world are oppressed or persecuted by their government, sometimes jailed, sometimes maimed, sometimes killed for their religious beliefs every single year. It's absolutely astonishing. So if we delve a little bit deeper into this workshop at George Washington University, I think it tells us more what's behind this attack, because this seems to be, it's the next level of identity politics. This workshop is hosted by a man by the name of Timothy Kane, who is the interim associate director for inclusion initiatives at George Washington University, ironically enough. That's according to his biography page. He works to expand the diversity and inclusion efforts at George Washington University, specifically the LGBT community, and he hosts other workshops in this same series. Listen to this. Other workshops on heterosexual privilege, cisgender privilege, able-bodied privilege, socioeconomic privilege, and unconscious bias. And this is my favorite. He also talks in each one of these workshops about the role of denial when it comes to white privilege. Amber, this dude has a problem.
No kidding, and apparently we are in the camp of denial. Identity politics really is at the heart of all of this because Christianity's teachings run so counter to that leftist ideology, because identity politics teaches people that there are certain classes of victims that are more oppressed than other classes, and that society is to blame for failures and for your own life rather than whatever you choose to do. And Christianity obviously teaches that everyone is equal under the eyes of God and that you're responsible for your own life. So to them, Christianity is a threat to everything that they believe in. So it's really no wonder that it's under attack, especially on college campuses where, of course, we know liberal bias runs the day.
Well, no, you're exactly right. The philosophy, it isn't compatible, really. Identity politics isn't compatible with a true belief in Christianity, because identity politics tells us that our race, the color of our skin, our gender, whether we're male or female, our age, our sexual orientation, and our religious beliefs, that those are what our heritage, those are what define us. Those are what makes us who we are beyond just innately. Those are what makes us I guess on this scale of privilege points, that something that we're not in control of, such as the color of our skin, sets us up for success or failure. That is a determinant of our value, whereas Christianity says, no, every person, each and every person is made in the image of Christ. They are inherently valuable because of that image, and beyond that, they are valuable and they are privileged based off of their own actions, the content of their character, and how they treat other people. And I don't think those two philosophies are compatible, and that's probably why identity politics is attacking Christianity. Amber, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.